Apart from being an amazing actor, he also happens to be one of the funniest men to ever exist on planet Earth. You can't watch a Tom Cruise movie without laughing a lot. He's so effortless about making people laugh. If there was ever an award for being the funniest actor alive, Tom Cruise is in the running for that one. You can't deny that Tom Cruise is one of the best at what he does, both with acting and making everyone around him laugh. So today we're going to show you some of his funniest moments from interviews on the live host show. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe for more content just like this, and let's get into it. On the Graham Norton Show, Tom Cruise made every single person laugh with his illustration. Both fellow guests on the show and the entire audience couldn't deny how funny he was.
So when you're kicking someone in the balls, so they pulled the strap out for the ball kick, and I ended up having to do it like almost 50 times, and my foot was swollen. So I had to get the angle right, and I just kept kicking him in the balls, and I was like, didn't we get this? Because my foot is killing me.
Again, on the Graham Norton Show, there was no denying Tom Cruise and his skill of making everyone around him laugh. He did it so effortlessly that everyone on the show was impressed. On The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, there was so much laughter going on with Tom Cruise on stage, and they played a game with him on the show, and all you could do was laugh at how funny he was.
First person to smash all their opponents' faces wins.
Go, man. All right, there you go.
These two have got their own ways of making everything they do look so funny. Once they start, it's almost impossible for them to stop. And the effect of it was, well, everyone else starting to laugh with them.
Why did you kick me, though?
I was mad at you.
Why?
Because you didn't play Duck, Duck, Goose with me.
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten in 2,000 years. I like hot dogs.
I like mine with ketchup.
I like mine with dust.
Here we go again with Tom Cruise and him going onto a show, and man, you could just tell by the way he answered these questions that he's just one of the funniest people around.
Did you go bigger in this one than in...
I can't tell you. I can tell you we went bigger. I shouldn't tell you that. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
This interview was quite funny, to be honest. Being an actor who acts in action movies, he was asked if he risked his life before coming to the interview, and his answer is going to leave you speechless.
Did you risk your life today?
Well, I did get in a car in this weather. I think we all did.
Okay, all right, that's pretty close.
That's close.
Tom Cruise always has a hilarious answer hidden behind his smile. He was asked why he never wears a helmet when acting his roles in movies. His reply? Well, you can guess that one already.
A lot of moments in this film where I think to myself, has Tom ever heard of a helmet?
I know. Yeah, it just doesn't look cool.
This was probably one of Tom Cruise's funniest moments, and you could even tell how hilarious it was by the way he and the guest on the show were laughing.
Basically, so where have you landed?
In England, you can land, they let you land in yards and...
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I land in fields and I just land in people's yards. Like sometimes, like if I have a location.
So they get a phone call saying someone's got to land in your garden, is that okay? Or does a helicopter just land in their garden?
I think someone makes that call.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise was on the special edition of The Sunrise Show, where he made the people who interviewed him laugh out of their pants when they asked him a question.
I can't imagine insurance is easy to get.
Yeah, I don't ever worry about that. That's not my problem.
Not your department.
On the Graham Norton Show, Tom Cruise was present for the entire Mission Impossible cast's interview, and it was so funny on the show, you'd never forget it. You could even say it was the funniest ever aired on the Graham Norton Show.
You get my point that you think, how did you break a leg? Okay, here he goes, and boom! Now he jumps, that speed, that momentum. Here we go.
Look at...
And now watch that. Watch this. Well, that's over. No. Up he gets, and he's running.
It was also so funny how they make jokes about Tom Cruise movies and interviews. When he tries to explain what really happened, you can't help but laugh at the funny illustrations.
When I made my deal, I said, I've got to fly in the F-14. I said, I'm the first pilot that I flew with. His name was Bozo. And yeah, just went down like this. And he, at that point, decided to pull up. And he pulled up so hard and for so long. I mean, I can't do it now. My head literally was touching the ground. I said, Bozo. Didn't you see? You get a check. You didn't tell me you were going to do that. My head was like, what? He says, yeah, they don't call me Bozo for nothing.
Trust me, you're gonna laugh after watching this hilarious interview with Tom Cruise. He was asked a bunch of questions about scary things he would do in movies, and as usual, he always had a hilarious response to the questions.
Would you parasail over an erupting volcano?
You know, I've been to an erupting volcano.
Of course you have.
And parasailing over would be quite beautiful.
Would you fly a jetpack through a tornado?
Well, what kind of tornado and where?
How can one man be such a wonderful actor and at the same time so insanely funny? Well, that's Tom Cruise, the best at being both at any given time.
Vomiting going on? Surely there was vomiting going on.
There must have been vomiting.
I'm lucky I don't vomit from those things. I fly aerobatic airplanes and helicopters. I just don't have that kind of
But you're not the only one there.
I know. But in between takes, yes. There are guys, we landed, this guy'd pull out their bag and they would just be hurling into this bag in between. And then one guy would see him hurling and then he'd start hurling. And it just went on like that, you know. So then we'd be like, come on guys, let's go. It's the next shot.
Everyone's hurling.
Sometimes you've just got to feel bad for the way they bash Tom Cruise in interviews. He is a great actor, and he isn't above mistakes. And that's what brings out the funny side in him.
The guy was over there, and he said, okay, we're gonna go on 3. And he started going 3, 2, 1. I said, whoa, stop. And everyone stopped waiting. You just said on 3. He said, well, I meant 3. What does that mean? He said, well, I'm gonna 3, 2, 1. And I said, do I go then, or do I go on 1? Like, when do I go?
Tom Cruise was called a Superman in one of his multiple interviews, and his reply to the statement will leave you speechless. He's got his own way of making things sound so funny.
You always shoot in such a way that it's very clear it's you and that you're on the side of that airplane, and there have been times where you've been hurt, almost killed, and it makes me think, are you a bit addicted to the adrenaline of it all? Do you ever think that you need that in your life? Do you know what I mean?
No.
There was no escaping the laughter in this interview. I mean, it's Tom Cruise we're talking about. Once he's on the show, you can bet he's going to be funny as hell.
Halo jump, which is jumping from...
Very high altitude, and we open low. So we're above 25,000 feet.
And then you open the parachute when?
Very low.
Very low means
like close
what?
to the building?
Like what?
Yeah, close to the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, what's wrong with you? What is
I don't
it?
understand it.
Even when he takes the scariest risks and does the most insane stunts in his movies, Tom Cruise will always put a smile on the face of his fans. Watching him in this interview was beyond amazing.
You're hanging off the side of the plane, and everyone's probably seen this on the news, but you really did it.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to do that.
And I remember telling the pilot, I said, listen, you know, I got to work with a test pilot. I'm a pilot. I love flying airplanes.
Sure.
I'm like, look, the angle of attack, I want to make sure my legs are hitting against the fuselage. And then the first take, we're going down the runway, and it was everything to keep my feet onto the steps because I was almost slapped against the fuselage going down the runway. We were going so fast. It was a little intense. There's that moment I'm there going, oh, maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
And that moment brings us to the end of today's video. Getting people to laugh and smile is something Tom Cruise does effortlessly, either from his movies or with his interviews. Keep the comments buzzing and let us know which of these moments you found the funniest. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any of the exciting content on the way just for you.